Good evening and welcome to the early late night live show hosted by KJ Traynor, and Mitch Fortier. It is May 29th. Here is Terry.
Good evening and welcome to the early late night live show, the show that puts late night into comedy or comedy into late night. We haven't figured it out yet. Godzilla King of the Monsters is premiering this weekend. The much anticipated film is under much speculation as to who is actually anticipating it. It is the sequel to the Bryan Cranston vs. Godzilla film, and it is supposedly related to the prequel King Kong movie, in which Samuel L. Jackson shows Kong who's actually king, and then he went on to call Kong a mother. Well, we can't finish that sentence on TV. The trailer for Downton Abbey finally broke the internet with a surge of at least 3 people watching it, speculating why would they make a movie about this odd British TV series that makes Americans feel sophisticated and the British feel clever for screwing the Americans over. A recently divorced man has spoken up about the trailer, saying, quote, "She wouldn't go see John Wick 3 with me, but this crap," unquote. The trailer, though, for Terminator Dark Fate released this week, featuring the triumphant return of Linda Hamilton, once again in the role of the classic Sarah Connor, donning a pair of dark sunglasses, wielding a large weapon, and saying badass lines. Wait, is she playing the Terminator? Probably not, because Arnold is back, and unless they're going to add more to this already disarrayed and lost movie series, which makes the original Highlander films look like friggin' masterpieces, it is safe to assume Arnie will be playing the Terminator. In a recent interview with the former governor, he said, quiet Mitch, he said, quote, "Well, since my music career has not taken off and Kindergarten Cop 3 has once again been canceled, I'll be starting alongside Linda again. I think she's the Terminator this time." Well, I knew she was playing the Terminator. Wow, jeez. Anyways, this series is grasping at straws. It's the early late night live show. Wow, she's playing the Terminator. Good evening and welcome to the early late night live show. We are on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. I don't know which camera I'm supposed to be looking at right now because it's a different setup. Am I supposed to be looking at this one? This one right here, camera 3. Oh, okay. All right. Damn it, Dan. All right. Didn't tell me that. Welcome to the early late night live show. We're on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. We're an entertainment talk show. We interview guests of all sorts, actors, filmmakers, musicians, comedians, directors, but no photographers because... no photographers. Well, anyways, sitting with me always, unfortunately, is my sister KJ. Hey. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, you got a nice yellow sweater on there.
I like yellow. Well, it's mustard, I think.
I was going to say goldenrod.
Well, goldenrod works.
I say yellow because I didn't realize there was more than one type of yellow, but that's...
Obviously, you didn't watch the Downton Abbey trailer.
Obviously, I didn't watch the Downton Abbey trailer, but of course, there he is. Seriously, Mitch, what's with all the paperwork right now?
What, guy can't have paper?
But on a TV show?
Notes.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Well, you actually
thought
fans.
Like, okay. KJ cool. She's getting all
I
like...
am cool already. Thank you very much.
So if we seem a little like awkward at the moment, it's because we came in and the studio was set up differently and the cameras are in different positions, and so I'm still kind of getting used to where everything is.
It does feel a little bit weird, actually.
It does, yeah. But I think it's nice to set up though, you know. I can't see you guys as clearly, which is good.
Oh, you know, it is a little bit.
Yeah, as soon as you sit back, you see you can't see me now.
See me now.
All right, yeah.
No, you can't.
But yeah.
This is
Simple
what passes
minds,
for entertainment.
simple pleasures.
But yeah, so we are officially just on YouTube. Bob Turinjo is already in the Facebook Live room. He says hi from Claremont. Hello, Bob Turinjo. How you doing?
Hey, Bob, comment. We're going to review the Picard trailer. Tell us what you think about it.
Yeah, he's a Star Trek fan, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's a big Trekkie.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think he has his picture taken with almost like everybody in the Star Trek cast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have my picture taken with exactly 0.
From my angle, it looked like 3, but that's just... So yeah, no, so this is cool. We're only going to be on YouTube from here on out. We're still using the Facebook page, obviously, for advertising, but Facebook was just too much of a problem. And it was a big deal transitioning over from Facebook to YouTube. Big deal by meaning I kept saying, let's just do this, and the crew just kept saying, no.
Well, Facebook is like that friend that you have that's really not like a good friend, but you don't want to get rid of them because they've been They were good times.
You're just talking about Facebook friends right now, then.
Yeah. Pretty much,
Pretty
yeah.
much a description of Facebook friends. Did it? Okay, MySpace. Did MySpace have like friends, or did you connect? I'm trying to remember.
Dude, I wasn't around for MySpace. Seriously.
MySpace had a top 8 friend list, which was very popular back then.
Oh,
You had
okay.
to pick your top friends.
Really?
But they
Wow.
had a-
Top 8?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
it was a top 4 or
That's-
top
Oh, man,
8, I
that'd be
remember.
really
That's
hard to do.
dangerous.
And then
Yeah.
picking your song was super important.
I remember picking the
Oh,
song.
that's right.
I
Super
had Crazy by
important
Gnarls
MySpace.
Barkley. Everyone thought I was weird.
Because you're
Hence the
crazy.
song. Duh.
You act like that was why they thought
That
you
was,
were real.
yeah. All right, shut up. What do we got?
All right, so Aladdin beat all predictions this weekend. The remake starring Will Smith and somebody
Bunch of
else.
other people we don't know.
Yeah, I've totally
Yep,
forgotten
yep,
now.
yep.
But it beat a whole bunch of predictions, and it did 112 million domestically.
It did 112 million domestically?
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's
Yeah.
very good. I mean, that's like,
It was better than Disney was expecting. So Disney's just
that's like
sitting
Marvel
back
numbers,
and
though.
rolling in the dough.
Right,
Yeah.
that's like Marvel numbers.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think pretty sure Captain Marvel did some similar to that. It didn't do 200 million, I don't think.
I
over
think it did
domestic.
126, but I have to double
But
check
that's
that.
just domestic. It's not
That's
even-
just domestic. It's cracked 200.
Because, I mean,
worldwide.
I want to see it just because I love Aladdin and I like Will Smith and it looks fun.
Yeah.
And I like the director Guy Ritchie. I'm a big fan of the director Guy Ritchie. But I honestly thought the film was going to flop, but to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it's interesting that an animation does so well in general. I mean, obviously it's a
It's a live action.
Live action,
Right.
right? More so, it's not animation, but it was at one point.
Right, right.
So-
I mean,
Well,
that's,
Beauty and the Beast did very, very, very well.
Yeah, but Beauty and the
that
Beast is a
had,
date
the
film
big-
type of
well, I was
thing.
gonna say
Right,
that.
yeah.
Well, it's really a girlfriend film, so all the girlfriends got together. I know this because I did this. We got together to talk about how we really love the yellow dress.
that's kind of what John Wick is like for men.
so I assume.
which I still haven't seen.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Okay, please don't tell
I've
me
been
you've seen.
busy. It was Memorial Day weekend.
have you
I
seen
had
Beauty and the
barbecues
Beast?
to attend. What?
Have you seen Beauty and the Beast?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
lots.
you're worrying
Matter of fact,
me.
one of my first ever theater productions was a show called The Enchantment of Beauty and the Beast. So it's a lower cost film, theater or production to do. You don't have to pay as much money for the rights to actually do it. I was the stage manager. It's my first stage manager production.
It's the off-brand Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
It's the great value
It's a
Beauty and
shorter
the Beast.
version, I mean. There's no, there
The
was some
pretty girl and
music
the
in
ugly
it,
dude. Just like the
It's like Beauty and the Beast Jr.
It's like the girl from Main Street goes with the guy from the back street. Pretty much, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much a Billy Joel song, right?
Yeah, Uptown Girl, yeah.
So
Yeah,
like Lady and the Tramp kind of
yeah, that's pretty much what
It's
that
a
is.
very popular theme in movies.
It is.
You know,
Yeah.
I think Charlize Theron just did a movie with Seth Rogen about it, too, if I recall.
Well, I mean, it's Forbidden Love is a kind of classic. No, I mean, did you see the live action remake of Beauty and the Beast?
Yes.
And you have,
I forget the actors that were in it though.
did you?
Emma Watson and the guy from Downton Abbey.
All
who's
right,
the-
we're going to
yeah.
go. I'm going to ask a question here just because this is interesting. Not that interesting, but still, it's a TV show. Who did you go see it with? Did you go on a date or did you just?
No, I saw it on DVD.
Okay.
Probably. You know what? I might have watched it with my partner at the time.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. This is
At
just,
home, rented
Terry's
it
like,
from Netflix.
This
or
is just
something like
weird.
that, or-
I'm not gonna. It's just odd to see.
It's a classic, man.
I wouldn't have watched it on my own.
That's what I mean. It's okay.
Yeah, not.
Not to sound
Yeah.
sexist.
Terry's like, there was John Wick.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hate to say this, but there has to be a reason why he hasn't seen John Wick and he saw he
Well,
saw
yeah,
this,
yeah.
right? You know, I mean,
But-
that's sorry. Total side note. And I'm not trying to sound sexist here, but it's just not a type of film you see like a single guy to do.
So
you know?
John Wick went to theaters, and then it went to Amazon. I didn't have an Amazon account, so
Right.
I did find it, by the way. You
Okay.
have to rent it. Even if you have a Prime membership, it's not even available.
Yeah, the
You have
Prime-
to still
the Prime
have to
Apparently,
thing's
rent it.
John
really
Wick is worth it.
So
apparently.
yeah, so they're charging you even though they're charging you.
Yeah.
But fine, whatever. So
Yeah.
I have to navigate that and pick and choose my spots so I have enough time to make sure I can watch it.
Yeah.
I think you have 24 hours to watch it after
Yeah.
you start watching it. So.
Yeah. So
Things happen fast in my life in 24 hours.
it's a filmmaker's. It's an actor's
like-
life. That's So all right. Anyways, what else we got in the news?
Okay, so the Marvel's Black Widow movie just started shooting in Norway, and it has a working title, which is Blue Bayou. So it's in Norway. The working title is Blue Bayou.
Down on the bus.
Yeah, about to
exactly.
say.
A little bit of John Fogerty going on there.
Is there any bayou in Norway?
Well, it's the small village of Sabo in Samor on the western coast of Norway. So maybe that's their bayou.
Maybe they have Cajun food there or something?
Yeah. I mean, do they have alligators in Norway?
Yeah.
I would assume that that's like the opening sequence that they're filming, and the rest is going to be in Louisiana. But
Right,
who knows?
yeah, it's like, yeah.
But she's a Russian agent, so like
Blue Bayou.
yeah, Operation.
Okay,
Blue
is
Bayou.
bayou only the thing out in like down south, or is it another word? Is it used for
No, it's pretty much just what
just
you think
down
it is.
south?
Yeah.
It's like the swamp areas, the
I
bayou.
don't know. Yeah. Green bayous? Are there green bayous?
Well, wait, is there anywhere else in the world that's called a bayou? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're using it, you're evoking the South. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, in other news,
Yes.
for those who are devastated by the end of Game of Thrones, there is a new cruise coming out that's Game of Thrones themed. And no, you will not be thrown or skilleted or tortured. It just travels around and shows you like the places that they filmed.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah.
they actually use it to get you more familiar with some of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's kind of like the tour groups in Ireland that are showing where Luke
I hate
was.
this series, just so you know. Like, I
know,
feel
but
like
they
it
just
comes
thought
up
it
all
was
the
funny.
time.
It's a series that won't die.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. Like,
They're coming out with a pre-series, like a prequel kind of situation. Now, I heard it was going to be set 5,000 years prior to.
it's a really prequel.
So how do you predict what the clothing looked like? I mean, how do you get any more
Says
primitive?
there's
look,
clothing. I'm
and
pretty
there's
sure
no
it's
clothes,
dinosaurs at
right?
that point.
I don't really understand.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
a
I just
fictitious-
heard. I
but
don't
it's
know.
a
I could have
fictional-
misheard. So.
It's okay, yeah, no, I watched like
Still
one
get it.
episode of this series, and I wanted to throw something at the TV. Like this is
I
how-
watched 5 minutes of Downton Abbey and I wanted to throw something at the TV. I'm like,
You watched the trailer.
No, I actually watched the 5 minutes of the opening episode. And I wanted to throw something because I couldn't stand the stop.
It
I
seemed-
understand it's a great series.
supposedly.
But, well, that's what I'm told by
It was good.
reliable
I really
sources.
liked it. I
So-
binge watched it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
so
watched-
there must be something to it.
I watched one episode of that too, and I wanted to just like.
I mean,
just-
I
wanted
have
to
a
do
very
this.
low tolerance for certain
Well,
types of things.
I was with a girl at the time who really was a big fan of the show. We watched an episode of it. We broke up soon after that. I don't know if there's any correlation. I don't know.
I will say this though, the trailer for Downton Abbey, which we will be reviewing with another trailer
Yes.
later on, was beautifully shot. Beautifully shot. And
I have a lot to say about that.
yes,
trailer.
but we're not going to say it right now.
Yes,
We're going
yes.
to save it. So meanwhile, Netflix, on another subject,
Okay.
has hit another home run with a horror film called The Perfection, which is actually causing viewers to get sick.
That's a type of infamy I'm not sure if you want.
Well, I don't know. It seemed to work for, what was that found footage movie called?
Oh, the
Blair Witch Project.
Blair.
Blair Witch Project,
It worked
yeah.
for them. I remember Mark, my
Well, it
older
worked for them
brother,
because it
coming
cost them
home,
like $5 to
sick.
produce the movie. So I mean,
Which is kind of weird. I don't. How does it make you sick? Is it because of the filming technique or whatever? I saw the trailer.
well, let
for
me
it.
remind you of a little time me and Arnie and Hannah went to see this movie called The Meg, where Arnie was finally going to meet Hannah for the first time.
Which I did actually meet Hannah, so
Meet
it was
Hannah
a
for the first
success
time.
in
And-
that respect.
Yes,
Yeah.
and let me recall, I said, what movie do you want to go see? And Arnie said, oh, the Meg, because Jason Statham literally kicks the shark in it. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Okay? All right.
I am very
And
easily
then
pleased.
some person ran out in the middle of it because she got sick.
I walked with dignity quickly to the bathroom. I did not wish to make a fool of myself.
Motion
It was,
sickness.
it was a shaky camera sort of style on the ocean. So shaky camera while
yeah.
boats were doing this.
That's a double.
I did not do
whammy.
well.
Yeah, double whammy.
I did not
Yeah.
do well.
So,
I get sick very easily. I got sick watching Les Mis. I had to stand through it. I was sobbing and crying and trying not to throw up at the same
that was The Miz.
No, Les Miserables.
That
Sorry.
was The Miz,
All
whole
right.
part of the story, right?
Yeah, but I was actually crying at the end of the Les Miserables.
Yeah.
Anyway, very good movie.
It is a very good movie.
Yeah, it's a great story.
That is
Yeah, no
actually, I think
question.
we all seen that film, Les
Yeah.
Mis.
Yeah, I've seen it on stage as well.
Yeah, it's the soundtrack for the movie is not good. Watching them sing within the movie is great. Listening to the soundtrack is not good for the Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe one.
Interesting.
Well, because they filmed the singing actually on set. They actually recorded. They recorded the singing actually on set.
Okay.
As they were they had pieces in their ear with the music coming in, and the director wanted them to be much more, to really put their acting into the singing, And I think it worked. It's a very emotional film. But the thing is, if you listen to the soundtrack, it also has like all the background sounds of like people walking and
And the
stuff.
I
Misnosis
gotcha.
stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's it's kind of neat though, the fact that they actually had that background noise in the film, and they could use the environment, and that would affect the sound quality and things like that.
So they could
too,
adjust the pacing of the songs just a little bit.
Yeah.
To the
But actually, I know when they first started to pre-record the songs before they filmed the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it was from a Paul Whitman movie. It was the first movie Bing Crosby was ever in. It was in 1927, and they were falling behind on production, and they were building sets as they were filming on a set, and Paul Whitman had a huge orchestra, a jazz orchestra, and they were supposed to be playing the song while they were recording it, while they were filming it, and they couldn't do that and hammer at the other sets at the same time. So Paul Whitman was like, well, let's just record the songs and mime it. And the director was no! But they did it anyway, save time, and afterwards, that's what they did.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting bit of information. What show were you on?
What? I was... it was Paul Whitman and his orchestra.
Yeah, all right. Let me see. Yeah, oh wow, we're already at time. All right, we got to cut the break. I'm going to look at camera one, Dan, okay?
It's working!
There we go. We're going to cut the break.
You can see my hand.
When we come back, our guest, Tajur, is going to be playing one of her songs, and it's going to be very exciting. Stop laughing, guys, and we'll be right back.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Steve.
You still got that late night show on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I do, on the Early Late Night Live Show Facebook page.
The one with the guests?
Yeah, that show.
Sure, I can't be a guest?
You a photographer?
Yes, I am.
We don't have photographers on the show.
But what if I...
And you're back, and we're back, and we're all back because it's the Early Late Night Live Show on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 with our special guest, Tajura, who's going to be singing her song, Naked. Take it away. Wait a minute. I just realized how bad.
The song is called.
Let me get my phone ready.
Just realized she is going to be singing her song titled Naked. All right.
Naked around you, always. Naked thoughts and naked dreams, naked like Eve, not wearing a fig leaf on any part of me. Naked, I'm naked, so naked. Naked being how I be, naked. I'm naked, so naked. Eyes wide open, now I see. I look and saw you, and I wonder, do you see what I see? Standing strong, tall like Adam. You're the man in front of me, you're naked, naked, so naked. With your eyes trained on me, naked, naked, so naked. Reaching for the best of me, your shadows in the brightness, a cool breeze in the warm, imperfect in your beauty. I like what I see. I'm brightness in the shadows, warmth in a cool breeze, a beauty in my imperfection. Do you like what you see? We're naked, oh naked, so naked. Naked being how we be, naked, oh naked, so naked. You are naked here with me, get naked, oh naked, go naked. Naked being how it be, naked. Oh, naked, so naked. Naked is being free.
That was Tajora singing her original song titled Naked. She's going to be coming over. Our guest for this week. Come on over. Jack is making sure you are. And for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of wires and stuff behind the cameras, and so we have to like navigate people so they don't trip and everything back there. So,
All right.
hey,
Hello.
I love the song.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, it was awesome. A lot of times you hear people, everyone plays music. It seems like sometimes, So I've been making films a very long time, and so I've gotten tons of people sending me their music, and not a lot of times do I like the music. I like that. That was really good. It was original, but it was still felt like, oh, this is, had a familiar type of vibe to it. So I got to ask you this. Who is your inspiration as a musician then?
My inspiration as a musician, that's a really good question.
Yeah,
I have a lot of inspirations. Like, I'm a big fan of music in general, but if I were to pick a handful of people, there are a lot of really awesome women in music. You think of people like Aretha Franklin, who just passed, and even more recent people, Bonnie Raitt, and it's about the feeling.
I think like Petula Clark and Stevie Nicks and
Stevie
Joan
Nicks.
Jett. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Stevie Nicks is amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Carly Simon. I mean, there's just so many amazing
Female songwriters.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. Aretha Franklin, man, she was.
I think my dad had like a huge crush on her. He used to tell me no one could touch Aretha.
Oh
It was like almost a religion.
A lot of people still can't.
She was just, just what a voice.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So no, that's cool. So I'm gonna make a little fun, but we usually say, oh, let's have a couple questions or something like that. So we got like a really long.
Bring it on.
Usually it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, wow, this is a lot of questions. So all right, but this is you have broken down to categories, which I appreciate. But this one right here, which is the question I always ask all the time. But you work in film. You're an actress, correct?
I am. Yes.
Yep. All right. So how is film different from theater? So you've done stage and...
I have.
Right, okay.
I have. I've done a lot of theater. And it's really about the perspective. When you're an actor, from an actor's perspective, when you're on stage, it's about getting all of the emotion that's here out.
Right.
Into a big room usually.
Yeah.
It could be a small room, but it's
Right.
usually a big room.
Right.
When it's film, your space is about the size of the screen. So
Yeah.
your acting is all here. And the subtlest movement can make the biggest difference in how the person who's watching receives what you're feeling. So
Yeah, I agree.
it's a big difference there. Oh yeah.
So, because
Mitch too.
Mitch
Hey.
has gone back and forth on theater and stage. Which do you prefer? Would you say, like as an actor, are you particularly more of a bigger bombastic character, or are you more like a more inner type?
It really depends on my mood. I'm not gonna lie. I swing from left to right when it comes to how I feel, and so when I want to there's something about that close up on the face.
Yeah.
That but it takes a while for other people to see that because you have this thing called the editing process.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Between you and your audience. When it comes to theater or even just singing on stage, the audience is usually right there and it's instant
Right.
gratification. It's
Really
like
quick shout
instant
out.
feedback.
Kate Epworth says, lovely song and young lady. I loved it. So she's a performance artist herself, so that's really cool. Really cool. People
Thank
actually going into your YouTube page, which I'm very happy about. So.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So that instant. I've never been on stage. I've done like stage combat, but I've never actually done performance on stage. Yeah, that must be very gratifying when you can actually really feel their connection directly with the audience.
It is. I mean, I know as a performer, that's why I do it, because there's something about that human connection that
Right.
really, when someone hears your song for the first time, you may have been singing that song for 10 years, but when someone else hears it for the first time, it's new to their ear.
Right.
And it's an experience for them.
Right.
And so You can never forget that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how old something artistic you do is. It always hits someone new for the first time every time it's getting seen. So
Yeah, like because I think about, you hear about these actors complaining that someone comes up and says the same line that they said to them all the time. And we did a film called Not That Guy, and the name of the film was Not That Guy. The amount of jokes we got about, yeah, well, because I'm not that guy, or this is not that guy, you know, oh, are you not that guy? You know, and there's a part of me that got irritated, but then I realized, wait a minute, people are remembering the film, and they're now feel it as, you know, and like, why am I getting upset? I've heard it a million times.
Right.
You know?
For the record, I was never that guy.
Yeah, Case in point, like,
nice.
but it's right because they're experiencing it for the first time,
Right.
and that type of connection. Now, when it comes to music, do you find there's a big difference? Like, I've heard someone say they have to act when they're playing music to a degree too. Like, they have to find emotion when they're performing music. Do you find that to be the case?
if you have to find it, you're singing the wrong thing.
Okay.
At least that's my perspective. I prefer to sing things that have meaning to me.
Okay.
Because then it's just a natural,
Right.
the emotion just goes with it. It's not, you're not trying.
Right.
You know, it's something that just comes naturally, and it's a better process. Honestly.
Right. Okay. But
So-
with acting, it's kind of the opposite thing. 'Cause you actually have to go and find the meaning of the scene. then to
Sometimes,
agree.
but
Yeah.
if you can come up with, and I'm totally switching gears here, but when we talk character development,
Yeah.
right? Character development for the actor is about finding those things you can connect, making that character real. It's another person, and if you can identify with them as a human being, it's really easy to find those 5 or 6 things that you have in common, and then the weird stuff comes out of there. I mean, Mitch, would you agree with that? Would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, I could
idea?
add all kinds of stuff.
Come on.
You're the guest.
Well, you were both in Spin the Plate,
Yes,
right? Which
yes.
is still winning awards, I think. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, matter of fact, it's being released on Amazon on May 31st. I was going to
Yes.
share that later. But yeah, it's
That'll be
recent
on
news,
Prime,
like
and you'll be able
literally
to watch
last
it.
night I got a call
Last
from the
night.
producer.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you get involved with that?
It was a fluke. I knew the director and the producer, and the director said, "Would you like to come and help me with the auditions?" I really hadn't planned on auditioning for the movie at all, and it got to the end of the auditioning process, and him and the producer said, "Hey, would you like to audition?" And I said, okay. I'm like, what part do you want me to read for? They gave me 2 parts to read. I read the first one. I read the second one, and they said, we'll call you tomorrow. And I got the role right away.
Wow.
So it was.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. It was
I think that's the kind of story everybody hopes, that they'll just be working and someone will see them and say,
Right.
hey, try out for
But
this.
that is how a lot of the industry works. I mean, Harrison Ford got the role of Han Solo. Do you guys know how he got the role of Han Solo?
no
Enlighten
idea.
us.
I know some part of the story at least, but I'm not sure how accurate it is. So
Okay,
what's
George
your
Lucas
recollection?
didn't want him to play any part in the film because he wanted to not just cast him, because he was in American Graffiti, which was George Lucas's first film. Well, he made a couple short films for him, but that was his first noted film. And so, but he asked him to come in and help the actors read through their lines. And that's how he got the part.
That's
he just was
awesome.
so good at reading the part of Han Solo that he's like, this guy.
That's great.
Damn it, I guess I have to give it to
Because he
you.
didn't want him playing Indiana Jones either. Because again, he didn't want to just cast Han Solo in every single thing he did. And Spielberg said, no, we got to have Harrison Ford. And he says, all right, we'll get Tom Selleck. But then a little TV show called Magnum P.I. yanked Tom Selleck. And then Han Solo. So
Which it
Han
worked
Solo,
out for the best.
Han Solo
It's hard to
reluctant-
imagine Tom Selleck, with the hat and the whip.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
no.
just such a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, the mustache,
See, I had heard something about him having been working on the construction crew for the film or something else and being discovered in that way. And I don't know if that was how he got started in film in general.
That may have been because
but
he'd
that
been
might
acting since he
be-
was young too.
Has he?
Was he?
Yeah, he was acting when he was pretty young when he was acting. He remember like one story he told about some guy saying, you didn't do good enough in this part. He said when Tony Curtis just played the bellhop in this one thing, he walked on screen and he was clearly a star. And Harrison Ford, I guess, said to the director, well, shouldn't he have been a bellhop? And the director fired him. So yeah, no, because he was in Force 10 from Navarone, which I think may have came out before. I think came out before those films, which was a couple. He'd had some acting experience, but really it was Han Solo that really made him. The mega star that he became. But all right, I'm going to look at the list of questions. I forgot that it's here. All right, you see. Oh, where did you start in theater? Actually,
Where?
yeah. Your question. That was your. Where did your love of theater start? There we go.
Oh no, it's okay. I was actually born in the New York tri-state area. I'm from Connecticut originally.
Okay.
And so I was 40 minutes from New York City.
Ooh.
And the thing that got my attention first, believe it or not, was Evita. It was
wow.
Mandy Patinkin and what is her name? I wish I could remember her name. Patti LuPone, playing Evita and Che Guevara.
Very political thing.
What I'm saying, I know, but there was this commercial and she's saying, "Don't cry for me, Argentina," and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. That looks dramatic. And you know, I was watching soap operas with my grandma at like 5, so.
Hey, we are already out of time because we got to actually wrap up. You're sticking around for Trailer Trash,
Yes,
though, right?
yes, absolutely.
You seem excited about that. So
I am.
All right, good.
I am.
All right. Well, thank you to Jory for coming on the show. When we come right back, we're going to be going into our segment Trailer Trash, where we're reviewing a couple of throwback trailers in a sense. And Arnie's very excited. We'll be right back.
I am.
Wait, you're Nathan Hale. What, is there a flyer or something going around?
Just calm down, all right?
Calm down? Why should I calm down? People are trying to kill me.
Calm down. I'm a detective. You're a detective. You're going to be all right, okay?
Headquarters to all available units. We are receiving multiple reports of false fire in the area of 15 Blackwater Road. Detective Harris and Marshall have advised that they are in the area and were...
Hey, did you see what you...
Okay, look, if we just talk about this half a minute, I just want to know a little idea what's going on. Just a little smidget.
No.
I don't really...
No.
Shut up with the hitting!
Grab a gun.
No!
So, yes, so I just got asked, where can I see Not That Guy? And then one of my tech guys said, well, Terry's trying to get it sorted out because it got pulled down from Amazon.
It's that shocking a movie.
It is that shocking movie that it got pulled down from Amazon. I'm not sure. We may have it available for digital download on the website, but I don't know. But if you email info@narrowstreetfilms.com, we can get you a copy of Not That Guy. If you're interested in that. Anyways, we're turning over to our favorite segment of the show, Trailer Trash. And Arnie, what is our first trailer up?
It is Terminator Dark Fate.
Okay.
All right.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
So Terminator Dark Fate is coming out. It's expected to be released November 1st of this year. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, Mackenzie Davis, and Brett Azar. And let me just get the write-up is Sarah Connor has returned from far away, and she's gearing up with a team of agents who will fight against T-1000.
Okay, sounds...
But T-1000 is the name of the Terminator that they're obviously battling. Wasn't that what they called the last one?
I can't remember if that was what...
If I remember correctly,
Terminator versions.
Terminator is T-800. So is this like
Oh,
the
so the
more
next-
This is like
powerful
200
version?
better.
Better.
Oh, so I think this
200 better.
I think this is...
Because I remember him being T-800.
Okay, because I think this is the same version then as the one that was in T2, essentially, the same type of model.
But I think
It
it looks
is.
more advanced.
Well, I mean, this series doesn't stay consistent with them.
No, it does. I'm sorry. So T-1000 is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
So,
I mean, talk about an entrance for Linda Hamilton. I mean, oh my God,
Right?
this is just such a good entrance.
I cheered. I'm not gonna lie. When
Okay.
I watched it,
Oh yeah.
I totally cheered.
Hashtag goals.
No doubt.
All right. Well, okay.
It was that scene where he kind of projects himself onto the hood of the vehicle and
Right,
he,
yeah.
stands up. I think that looked like a new
well,
function.
no, because in the
Like
first,
an
in the
upgrade.
second one, he was like sliding through things and stuff. Right. Yeah. He was in
Yeah.
a liquid form.
Yeah.
Right,
Of
but that
sorts.
was like he was moving himself into that position or into that through
Yeah.
it, but not as opposed to making himself like duplicating himself.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Well, okay. So I'm going to start off because
We see it again.
I'm going to start off because
Oh, and I should mention it is the director of Deadpool who's doing
yes,
Yes.
and what's his name is back producing it too.
Yeah.
James Cameron's back producing it. Okay, so I do have something. I do have a lot to say. So I made a film, as I said, called Not That Guy, and it was a female-led action film because I felt like Hollywood for the longest time had really done female lead action films wrong, and I still think for the most part they don't do them well, and I feel bad that they don't do them properly. I think if this film came out 15 years ago or 10 years ago, it would look really cool. I just don't feel like this looks cool right now. It's just like, meh. That's what I feel like. And I feel it's kind of bad saying that because I like Linda Hamilton. She was great she's the Sarah Connor. You know what I mean? The visuals look decent. I think I'm just like big blockbuster remake of every million thing ever, I mean, I feel like it's almost gotten into a lot of action films now look like they're almost going B films. We're just an overly cool shot of someone stepping out with like like
Rocket
a
launchers.
huge right.
It's
Yeah.
more about the action than about the story.
It doesn't have, I mean, like, think about,
awesome.
for those who have seen the Red series, okay, all right. What's her name? The older actress that is...
Helen Mirren?
Helen Mirren. Talk about a way to make a unique, very badass character. She is so cool in those films, and she barely physically does anything. I mean, she did like all of her own stunts, but they made her look like she was actually really
She's kind
doing
of like Maggie Smith. She can stand there and be awesome. Like,
Right.
I wish I had that. I
And
have to do something.
And I feel
even
like,
then.
She's been at it a long time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, too. I feel like it used to be like really cool. Oh, it's a female action lead. This is something unique. That's not really unique anymore now. So I feel like they've kind of fallen into sort of what happened with the tons of guy action films that just are terrible. And so guy action films have to be careful. And I think this is like, it just felt like, oh, we'll just put a big gun in her arm. She'll step out and just shoot and everything will be fine. But that's my opinion of it. And I like Linda Hamilton and I kind of like the Terminator series. That's how I feel about it. Makes sense?
Yeah,
It
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But I cheered.
Okay, all right,
anyway.
that's fine.
I love that whole concept because I hated her in the first film. I'm like, what kind of woman is this? I don't know anybody who gets that panicky about. I mean, I get it. He's scary, but she was just overly like.
Overly.
It was all.
Too
like,
much.
The idea of danger was new to her.
So as the involvement of the character, you like
I
where this is?
love her
Okay.
character arc.
Okay, all
Love
right.
it. Love it.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Arnie, your thoughts?
I liked it because she's not like high kicking things, and
Yes.
she's not like they didn't like digitally animate her to
No.
make her do things that
The
like,
other action girl, they did it digitally
Yeah,
animated to
that
another.
I don't care about so
Right.
much, but she looks like just like an old worn warrior who's
Right.
still awesome and can bring it.
Okay.
And that I really like. She's not afraid to look a little older.
Right.
And she still looks awesome.
Okay,
So
all right.
that I'm like, yeah, bring it.
All right. Cool. Mitch,
In
thoughts?
general, I love the whole Terminator series, but it kind of looks like more of the same in terms of like there's just this robot that comes out and is going to try to attack people and mess up their lives, and then he doesn't die for 3/4 of the film. And they're just trying to kill him,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So I mean, but I know that going into
Wait, that's
it,
the same as
and
every episode. Never mind,
that's
actually.
fine. But knowing that going into it and seeing some of the shots, it just looks like it's going to be a cool film to watch. So I will totally watch it because I just love the series. So.
To me, the only one that actually really went a different direction was the one people seem to get upset about, which I thought was good, was Salvation. Salvation actually felt like it was stayed in the same world, but it was like, we're going to go in a different direction. I mean, it was like based in a different time zone, visual effects are really good. It followed different characters, and it wasn't just about, a robot coming and just trying to kill. I mean, and so that's
Plus, I want to really see Arnold Schwarzenegger and how he's aged on film and how much of a role he has. Yeah. And what cool lines they're going to give him.
All right. Well, anyways, let's hop into the rating system. Just I don't know if you know what the rating system is, but Mitch will do the ratings for this.
I'm 2 thumbs up all the way.
Okay.
So it's like 2 whatever degree you want.
Okay.
So I gotta give it 2 thumbs up because I haven't seen any of the other Terminators, and I was just watching it going like, I want to see this. So.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I got
Two thumbs up. Okay.
2 thumbs up, yeah.
It doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look bad. All right. It just doesn't look.
As awesome as it could be.
It just doesn't. There's like nothing. It's like nothing's really grabbed my attention for this. And again, I mean, I've only seen a few of the Terminator films. I never even saw the first one. I saw part of the first one. So okay, to be perfectly honest. So I mean, this character doesn't mean as much to me. So almost as an outsider to a degree, it's like Arnold's back playing the same role he's been playing, forever. So I'm just going 2 thumbs in the middle. I mean, it's not bad. It's just nothing significant, So right, well then that's what it is. But you guys apparently all for this couch is on fire.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go
Yes.
see it. We should all go see it together.
We should.
Okay, so Arnie, what's the next trailer?
The next trailer is for Star Trek Picard. This is a new TV series which will be on CBS Access. It stars Patrick Stewart. I actually had to look that up. I'm so embarrassed. Santiago Cabrera, and Allison Pill, and Harry Treadaway.
Pill?
Pill.
P-I-L-L?
PLLL.
Yes. Anyway, it's directed by Jonathan Frakes, among others, which it's kind of cool, and it's coming out later this year.
Okay.
There is no write-up for it. They're not releasing any details about the series. So.
Okay.
So.
Harumph.
Pierre Rumpf. Huh?
I said harumph.
Oh, Harumph? Oh, okay. All right.
I'm guessing
now,
you have comments.
Now,
I
Arnie
do too.
is Arnie and myself both are we're on the Kirk side. All right, we prefer Captain Kirk. Is that my prefer? Yes, prefer Captain Kirk. Always prefer Captain Kirk. All right. My girlfriend prefers Picard. Okay, so this is always a good discussion. All right.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Okay, so we did have some people comment in
Yes,
the Facebook
so-
page. So Ethan Aho says that this trailer hits me in the feels. So
I'm not sure that was a dirty comment, but anyways.
no, it means that he really, really likes it. And
I got that part.
Terry says she's very excited for it to start. Stewart's on her bucket list for photo ops.
Okay.
So they're both very excited. Ethan's a little leery that you have to pay extra to see it, but you might be worth
Ethan
it.
who?
Ethan Aho.
Extra to see it? What's that about?
Well, you have to subscribe to
It's
CBS.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's their
$5
streaming service.
Okay.
Yes, Star Trek Discovery is in the same.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm one of
this-
those
all
few
right,
people,
so-
I actually like Picard and Kirk. But if I was going to serve under one or the other, it's got to be Kirk every single time. So
Nope.
Real quick, is it series or movie?
It's a series.
it's a series.
Okay.
It's a series.
All right,
I think
Mitch.
it's 10 episodes.
Your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I watched the trailer and thought to myself that this was a wine commercial.
Yes.
And I literally watched it today and I'm like, yep, still a wine commercial.
Yes.
So it's just about how much am I invested in the whole Picard series and or Picard in general and Star Trek, and I love it. It looks like it's going to be very intimate and heartfelt in some way, shape, or form, and legendary in that way. It's not going to be about, I don't know, so I'm interested. I'm curious to see how it
Arnie,
turns out.
your thoughts?
It's interesting you say that because I looked at this and thought, they have absolutely no footage to show. So they cobbled together
yeah.
a bunch of shots that they had from something else.
And they're
then
gonna be
slapped
selling that wine.
Stewart on the back. And I'm like, and I'm not saying I'm against, I actually do kind of want to see the series, but this trailer is not, I think, a good representation of what the series is going to be. It feels like stock footage with a Patrick Stewart.
And Chateau Picard, by the way, does
Excuse me.
it is a real wine vineyard.
Was that your thoughts? Was that your opinion on her thoughts? Is that
Well, no, I think she might actually be right in some ways, but I am a huge Star Trek and Star Wars fan.
okay?
You're a Trekkie warrior.
I'm a Trekkie warrior. Like, seriously, I'm a Trekkie.
I've never heard that.
You okay, Mitch?
Mitch almost
Yep.
lost his
Pay
drink.
no attention to the man behind the
So from a person who understands the universe as it is for Star Trek, I have to say Picard is such a thoughtful leader
Yeah.
that I was immediately like just watching, and they showed lots of episodes with him being with his family on the farm and they grew grapes and like
Oh,
it
yeah,
didn't look
yeah.
unusual to me that
Okay,
that,
all right.
that was what the trailer was about.
Right.
And I know they probably couldn't divulge anything about the
Which just makes me actually more excited. 'Cause I'm
yeah.
like, what is it?
What
they're
is it
holding
really?
back?
They really telling us
So,
here, right?
Right.
There must be like either a ton of special effects, or if they give anything away at this point,
Yeah.
something like
Wait.
that. So.
Exactly.
Okay, so obviously you liked it.
I did like it.
Right.
I did like it.
Now, I'm kind of in Mitch's position here where it's like, is this a wine commercial? Or are we just obviously going to be selling Picard wine online, and now all the Star
Which
Trek
put me
fans...
down for a couple bottles just because.
Right. Now,
Seriously.
I really like Patrick Stewart. I've never really been a huge Star Trek fan. I love the original series, and everything else I've saw after that, I didn't really like it as much. I love the original series. I love the original cast. I love the original films. I love their dynamic. So, but I've never seen anything Patrick Stewart that I didn't like him in, and so I'll give anything time for Patrick because I like Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart's even played poop.
Yes. So yes, but this it didn't strike me with anything in particular except for why is there wine everywhere?
Nice.
So all right, but we'll go around because we're already running out of time. So yeah, I'm giving the signal by the director.
I need more information, so I'm kind of like, I don't know.
It is a
this
teaser
like
trailer. Yeah, there we go. All right, that's your rating. That's your rating, Arnie.
I love Patrick Stewart, so it's just going to automatically get the two thumbs up.
I'm guessing.
Nice. It's close. I think I'm more like this, right?
I'm kind. That's how I feel too.
Yeah,
because
it's like it's Patrick Stewart. It's directed by Jonathan Frakes, who was his #1 on the ship. So.
Oh,
Right,
wow,
so-
I know that. All right, I'm going to settle this one down.
All right. So, anyways, Tej, you're great having you on the show.
Thank you for having
Obviously,
me.
welcome back anytime. We'll be dropping links to all your stuff into the YouTube live.
Okay.
And thanks for coming on the show.
Sure.
And when we come back, it'll be anything goes with Mitch except for that one thing. And we will see what Mitch has to offer. It's the early late night live show on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8. We'll be right back.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Steve.
You still got that late night show on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, I do. On the early late night live show Facebook page.
The one with the guests?
Yeah, that show.
Sure, I can't be a guest?
You a photographer?
Yes, I am.
We don't have photographers on the show.
But what if I...
Now it's time for Anything Goes with Mitch, except for that one thing. And what is that one thing? We will never know.
I just want to draw your attention to what Bob Turenshow put down. He put down the
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
well played.
Real quick, we're still getting used to how the comments come up on YouTube. But we will be reading off your comments. And if you want to make a comment during the show, feel free to, and we will talk about you. But right now, we got Mitch Fortier. What's going on, Mitch?
No, not much. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what to talk about today, and that usually involves some kind of just general research and looking at stuff, and then I probably should shoot you some links and kind of use that time and to save you some work, but but I'm not that kind of guy apparently.
You're not that guy. Oh, damn it.
So have you ever wondered how much money in this is spent and or involved with the film industry in the U.S.?
Total?
Like total.
Well, I know like New York alone was like 1 year was like well over 7 billion or something.
Could be 7 billion.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, in New York City alone, like in 1 year, it is an enormous amount of money.
It's estimated to be $171 billion is paid out in payroll, just in payroll, to people involved in films.
That's interesting.
I wonder how that number would change if you took out like the big price tag people. Like if you took Robert Downey Jr. out of that, for instance, how much? Because they're obviously overpaid, like not overpaid, but they're tipping the scales way far.
Sure.
If you will.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Remember this. All right. So, because I've brought this up and I hear people like, I remember one time it was a big deal because like Harrison Ford got 15 million. I think it was for 7 days, 6 nights, or whatever it was when that came out a long time ago.
I remember when Jim Carrey's getting 20 million a movie, and others are getting that
Right.
now. So
Now, like say the James Bond film, all right, costs like $200 million to make. All right, Daniel Craig's an enormous star, so he probably got 20, 30 million from that film. That was paid. Everything else gets paid out from that number to people who work day jobs. So if you hear that 200 million, that's not going to producers. That's producers paying people. you know, right? No. Right.
Yeah.
So hang on a
Yeah.
second.
that's
And when-
2.6 million people at $177 billion. That's at least
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And so now when you see those lists, I mean, so many people get employed when a film gets made. I mean, I brought one of the call sheets from Jessica Jones, and they were filming like 2 pages in the middle of New York this one day, and there was like well over 100 people on set, and we were all getting paid a decent amount and being fed. So anytime I hear people complain a lot about how much money these actors make, those actors are getting paid that much because in theory, when these films go, and people are not going to go watch the movie because of the carpenter. They're going to go watch the movie because of the actor. And so that actor, to a degree, is worth it to that extent because he comes at that price tag, everyone else gets paid. And so it's remarkable when you think about that. But if you took Harrison Ford out of this movie, people aren't going to go watch
Oh
it.
yeah,
you know?
no. I was just commenting. I was just wondering how that would change the numbers. that's
Right,
all.
and I mean,
Yeah,
and you can
I
tell,
wonder,
but you can
actually.
tell how
Yeah.
much that changes the number because all you have to do is go look at indie films and B films, and it'll show you exactly how much it changes the number, and it's remarkably smaller. Like,
You mean like $3,000?
like Rush Hour 3 cost $100 million to make Rush Hour 3, which isn't even that big a film. Now that also doesn't include advertising costs, which typically is about at least 50%, or if not or 100% of the actual production costs of the film.
Spin the Plate, I believe, is being billed as a $25,000 film.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't pay any of our actors that I'm aware of.
Right. I mean, and it's just, I mean, so.
Yeah.
That was all location cost, photographer, cinematography, editing,
Yep.
sound, and music, and festival costs and things
Right.
of that nature. So it was funded, and it was strictly funded by the producer and the GoFundMe page.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, it's remarkable. And everybody, when a film does well, everybody makes money. Insurance companies make money. Restaurants make money because if they go to film in areas, hotels make money. I mean, so a lot of times, I mean, because film companies just, when they have the money, they're playing with someone else's money. They just throw money everywhere. They'll throw money at whatever it is they can, to get something. And that's just kind of the nature of how the business goes. And so when they come to a town to film, they have to pay for permits, they have to pay for parking, they have to hire cops, they have to hire local artists, because sometimes there's rules, restrictions, you have to hire X amount of local artists, Yeah,
and that's the second half of my story
Right.
For tonight, actually, if you want.
No, I'm sorry. I got passionate about this. This is your section. Anything goes, Mitch. I get very passionate about this.
But so you've actually segued already into what I was going to talk about afterwards, which I've just found interesting, and I've always been interested in, and didn't really know a lot of information about it in terms of tax credits and how they affect states. So there's a lot of states out there that do this. I want to say there's probably a dozen or so states. It could be less than that. Some of them do it differently than others. You know, Massachusetts has their way, Arizona has their way, and the Massachusetts has been trying. A lot of people have been fighting it and trying to get rid of it. And the film industry in Massachusetts has grown significantly because of the tax credits. And evidence of that is that before the tax credits came out, there were 7 films made in 10 years prior, with about $63 million worth of on record, or submitted, if you will, for cost. And then afterwards, in the 3 years afterwards, they made, I think it was 23 films, and I want to say it was, now I'm forgetting, it was just 10 films, about 63 million, and then I think it was 23 films at like 171 million or something along those lines. It was just a huge difference in numbers, which is interesting because where's that money? How's that money affecting the economies of the places that they're filming,
Right.
the towns that you're going to? And a lot more money goes into those towns than I think a lot of people realize.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
And part of that is the $177 billion in wages that we talked about with 2.6 million employees. Across the country, they estimated $44 billion per year go to 250,000 businesses, 87% of which are small businesses.
$4 billion.
So like hotels, restaurants. I'm not sure if they're considering municipalities because like some will have to pay the town to rent certain spaces and get security and cops involved because they're blocking out streets and things like that. So plus they're hiring people in towns, and businesses will hire more people just for the film industry or just for that film in particular. So it's kind of interesting as you start to dig into the economic impact of filming in a town. So I thought, how do you relate that to small independent filmmaker, in their existence, in their lifestyle?
A lot less money.
A lot less money, no
we
question.
don't do as much good.
You're typically, as independent filmmakers, you're typically asking businesses to donate their space, and donate their time. And New Hampshire's a really great...
But they get to be a star in the movie, so they're getting something
or their
out of
store
it.
does, right? Or something, right? The hotels we've shot in. I did this film called Fireflies, and I spent 2 nights in their hotel while we shot, actually in my room, which was really difficult for me to get my sleep schedule straight. But and just for the idea of getting film credit. New Hampshire's really good about that. This was in Massachusetts, actually, so that's a little bit different. But I'm always hearing about how good New Hampshire is to film in.
Well, New Hampshire's awesome.
Very easy to film in.
Yeah.
Because I got asked by someone from out of town, they said, well, what are the permits and everything like that in New Hampshire? And I was like, you don't need a permit.
Kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Unless you're blocking off a street. Are you going to
No, you don't need a permit for that. You just need permission. The only place we ever needed a permit was we had to film in front of the Capitol building. And we probably could have gotten away with it, to be perfectly honest, but they said, we needed to fill out a permit. It didn't cost us anything. You just had to fill it out, just so they knew who was going to be there. But filming in New Hampshire is simply this. The best part about filming in New Hampshire is people don't really care. Now, either they don't care in the sense that they don't care if you want to do it, they don't care if you want to do it.
But more often than not, they think it's cool and they want to be a part of it in some way, shape, or form.
Majority of them think it is, but the answer is typically yes. It's either an enthusiastic to a not really care, yes, or just no.
And
no money's going to change the difference, right?
Prescott Park?
Prescott Park, yeah.
And we had to hire a cop to do that.
We didn't have to, actually. I actually went overboard to hire a cop to make sure that...
And he had such a good time.
Which is that almost always happens.
We actually got him in the footage too. So he's an extra on the set of Michael Lawrence. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, it was
very
pretty cool. And he loved my brother Ernie because Ernie was playing like a Columbo-esque detective. And he thought that was the best thing ever. So he got a picture with Ernie in his Columbo outfit. It was awesome.
That's cool.
Well,
Portsmouth's a great area in general. So.
Well, I've heard people filming in New York, you don't really get the same reception as you would filming in, because everyone films, and our guest is shaking her head because she's from there. Everyone films in New York. It's not a big deal to see a camera crew in New York City. Yeah. But in New Hampshire, people do kind of get excited about it. And the simple part is this. It's just about permission. Permission from whoever owns the property, whether the town owns the property, whether a private individual owns the property. If they say yes, it's yes. If they say no, it's no. And it is no.
And I would also say, though, you should always take extra care to be respectful to the property, to the owner, to be very communicative with who it is that is giving you the permission, so that you know what your boundaries are. You know, I'm not going to drive on your lawn, or I'm not going to have 50 cars in your yard, or and things like that, because that's what keeps people interested in talking good about the film industry in general. So that was kind of what one of the things I was thinking about on the way here, is if we continue to make films and we do well, then other businesses do well. They get excited about things. Their name gets out.
Yep.
Film, festivals continue to have material, and people get more involved and start to build up the opportunities and create opportunities that we didn't expect.
And that's a cool thing. I filmed movies 10 years ago that people still call me up and talk about that one time they were on the set. And so, let's keep the enthusiasm alive. Let's keep, especially in New Hampshire. New Hampshire's a great place to film. Yeah. A lot of cool locations, a lot of cool people. Anyways, we got to wrap this up. Anything Goes with Mitch is gone.
Until next week.
Until next week, yes. Who's our guest for next week, Arnie? And you've got the right
Oh,
one.
yes, I do know. Hold on 1 second. It's been one of those weeks.
It's been one of
Mark
those weeks.
Haggett in Hop Top Films.
Oh, yes, that's right. So with Joel Michael Martin and Jennifer, whose last name I can't recall.
Okay.
But they will be here.
We'll be here.
Yeah. Talk
So-
about their new film.
So
Sorry, I
thank.
stole your thunder. But I was a little quicker on the draw.
I stole it from him, and he stole it from you. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
right.
He did actually. I told him to ask me,
So it's
and
my
then
turn to
he
steal
started
something.
asking you. Yeah.
It's a. All right, folks. It's the Early Late Night Live Show. We're on every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 on our YouTube channel, the Early Late Night Live Show. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page to see some more weekly announcements. And I want to thank everyone for understanding our transition. And hopefully, we'll see more people on the YouTube channel. I want to thank our guest, du jour, and I want to thank the whole crew. And
Word of inspiration from last week.
Word of inspiration, yes. Word of inspiration. Arnie, word of inspiration.
Just do it.
All right.
Be kind.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Be kind. And just because it's your set doesn't mean it's not someone's home. So, yeah. Remember. All right. We'll see
That's
you folks.
words to the wise. Yeah.
Have a great week, everybody.